Hello there. Welcome back to Zero Production Value Movie Reviews. As always, I'm Hoernke, and today I'm going to be talking about the 2020 film Bloodshot, directed by some dude named David S.F. Wilson. Not a director I've ever heard of, but then again, this is just a sort of Mark 1 Mod Zero, almost like straight to DVD-ish action movie. So those are the kind of guys you'd like give a shot to and see what they can do with it. Suffice it to say, I went into this with pretty low expectations. Come on, it's a Vin Diesel generic action movie dumped in the early spring, and then all the COVID stuff just sort of amplified it. But in any case, also, is it a vampire movie? I mean, it's called Bloodshot. Did you see that poster? I mean, not a vampire movie, just saying. So color me surprised when this turned out to actually not to be half bad. I mean, it's not a buried treasure like something like John Wick, which similarly got dumped in like this sort of void between Oscar movies and summer blockbusters, and sometimes movies spike like that. I mean, it's not that, but when you go in with really low expectations, it's nice to end up with just a fun, entertaining, slightly better than average action movie. So, this is based on a Valiant comic book character, and apparently they're supposed to be starting a Valiant comic book character kind of cinematic universe. Although I couldn't tell you another Valiant comic book character right now off the top of my head if I had to, and I'd never heard of Bloodshot, so let's see if that gains any traction. Plus, with everything going on, who knows, that might go by the wayside pretty quick. In any case, Vin Diesel stars as tactical marine Ray Garrison. Nothing like a generic movie name if I've ever heard one. In any case, so after a successful hostage rescue that we get some pretty good action scenes with, he returns to the Amalfi Coast, beautiful Amalfi Coast of Italy, and is having a, come home back party with his lovely wife. But very quickly, and without much preamble, he is abducted along with his wife by this creepy terrorist dude who's pressing him for information about the previous mission. And of course, as a good Marine, he doesn't give it, or he doesn't have it, who knows. But anyway, his wife and him get killed. Ooh, not really a spoiler alert. It's like the beginning of the movie, so hey. So flash to Garrison awakening in a lab run by Guy Pearce. His mind is blank. He doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know where he is. He can't remember how he got there. He learns he was killed and his body was donated to science. And now this is a private entity, and apparently they dump unclaimed military bodies on them. So this guy is somewhat of a genius of nanotechnology, so it's these things that he's called nanite tech that have restored this guy to life. And basically they're like, microscopic little robot thingies that we can't see. And they go as far as to say they didn't just put nanites in his blood to help, stuff, regeneration, strength, and all the hoo-ha. They, like, the nanites are his, it's completely, like a complete transfusion. Like, he is the nanites now, apparently. His blood, anyway. His fluid system. Whatever. I don't dig too hardly into it, or too aggressively into it, shall we say. So, on the plus side, all these nanites give him nigh invulnerability. He's faster, he's stronger. His mind is basically a computer, and he's got pretty good Wi-Fi signal. On the bad side, he's now got this limited supply of these things, and as he expends energy, and part of the So part of the great thing about these is, and this is one of the kind of the shtick of the movie, is as he gets injured or blasted, the nanites almost immediately restore his wound. So it's almost like instantaneous regeneration. But as they regenerate that stuff, they deplete. So if he overwhelms him too much or takes too much damage, then it's almost like a hit counter in a game. You can just see the going down, and when he gets done, he's got to go back into I don't know, some super whammadine nanite septic tank and get recharged or something, right? Power back up. So Guy Pearce plays the doctor who did all this stuff, named Emil Harding. He's the brains behind the tech, and we are introduced to a couple other ex-military team members who have various pieces parts replaced on them. One's got blade legs and one's got this weird eyeball attachment thingamajiggy that helps him see or some stuff. And then we're introduced to the female who I guess would be a pseudo love interest, but they never really kind of explore that. And I'm like, the person who plays this, she was dragging on my mind. I'm like, I know this person from somewhere, and her name is Eiza Gonzalez, and where I remember her from is she was John Hamm's Gal Friday in Baby Driver, and I'm like, I knew I saw you. I knew you from somewhere. So in any case, Garrison all of a sudden starts having flashbacks. He sees the last mission he was on, and he sees his wife getting killed, and he sees the terrorists who killed her. So all of a sudden now he is enraged, and he gets a singular focus. Hey man, not only do these nanites give me the means to find this guy, they give me the means to dispatch him with extreme prejudice. So he goes off rogue to find this guy, and that's about all I'm going to go down the plot road, because as it moves forward, the plot basically, you think you're going one way right there, right? But I'm telling you, the plot sort of tilts on its axis, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh shoot, we're making a drastic right turn, and now it's this other thing, which was actually a pretty good turn for it. I don't know if it's completely, unseen or unanticipated, but I thought it was still a pretty good, sharp turn for the story to take. The special effects here are really well done for a relatively low budget movie. A lot of good action sequences. There's a especially good action sequence, they're in this dark tunnel with they got a lot of flare lights, boom, boom, boom around, and of course they crash, and they're in this kind of little kill box thing, and part of it it's this tanker truck. But what do you think? A gas tanker truck, an oil tanker truck? No, it's a flour tanker truck. You're like, well, that's kind of cheesy. But I'm telling you, kicking around the flour and stuff, and all this dust flying, it made for a really and the red flare light. They knew what they were doing. They're like, ooh, we can make this a really cool ambiance scene by crashing a flour truck. Let's do that. But it was a really well shot scene. And so with the effects, with him getting wounded and kind of sometimes severely, there's a scene, and I'm not giving anything away, it's in the trailer, where somebody shoots him and half of his face blows off, not in a really realistic way, but in a CGI sort of way, so don't feel it's too gruesome. But then the effect comes back and puts his face back together while you're watching. So, and then some of this takes place in a computer generated environment, and that was really well done. So, pretty good special effects here. Outside of that one fight I just mentioned, one scene, I'm looking for a little bit more out of the fight sequences, especially the climactic one. I thought it was a bit abbreviated. I wish they would have done a little bit more with it to, I don't know, amp it up or play it out or something. I mean, it's not bad. It just kind of at some point, it just kind of became a little mundane and obvious how it was sort of going to play out. Yeah. And you can do predictable. You can do predictable, but you just have, if you want your movie to be great, you have to do predictable and you have to amp it up. You have to do it better than other predictable. You have to take elements and make them better. And when you just do predictable as like then that's what you're going to get, you know. But overall, this is an engaging action flick with Vin Diesel in it, by the way. It's not a Fast and Furious movie. And it was way better than I think it had a right to be. Not a vampire flick, though. I mean, not a vampire flick. Just saying. So, for all that, I am going to give Bloodshot, directed by David S.F. Wilson, a C+. And you might be going, C+, that's not a good grade. Hey, I'm telling you, when I'm walking into this and I'm expecting a low D to an F movie, a C+ is like, you know, a little gold nugget. Just saying. So, I love you. I appreciate you. Thanks for watching my review. I enjoyed making it. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Like, subscribe, leave some comments. Comments. Love me, hate me, something. As always, I am Eric Hoernke, and that rhymes with turnkey. And this has been a production of Zero Value. Thanks for watching.